Alright, legends, welcome along to a new episode. We're getting into Tales of the Unexpected with an episode called William and Mary. This was a fantastic episode and a nice little twist ending on it that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to go a completely different direction, but it does exactly what it says in the tin. It's Tales of the Unexpected. So the way these things end up sometimes just catches you by surprise. And this one here starts off, and it's a real horror setup. So I'm gonna give you a little out at this point. Spoiler warning: I'm going to completely destroy the episode for you here. So if you don't want it destroyed, go find a copy of the box set. I'm pretty sure you can get it on if you got a Prime Video account. Like, I think you've got the series on there included at this point. That's where I'm watching it at right now. So yes, this episode is Mary. She's the wife of a professor called William, and he has just passed away. This is where the episode opens up. She is, I want to say, heartbroken at the beginning of the episode because of this husband of hers. He's a professor, university professor, very, very strict household. He was the sort of person that didn't allow her to do much on her own. She always had to be the wife that he wanted her to be, and she had to be the woman that he demanded that she be. He was the sort of person that didn't agree with television. He didn't like her smoking or drinking. She had to be presentable at all times. Just essentially a slave to him. So at the beginning of the episode, he's passed away. The lawyer shows up to read the will. He hasn't left a lot for her. There's the house, there's a couple of £1,000 or something like that there. And there's a few stipulations in the will that he wants her to follow. And one of these is to go and see this doctor, that an appointment with the doctor, and the lawyer is there to make sure that she fulfills all these things. So like, he delivers her to this doctor appointment, and when she gets there, the lawyer leaves the doctor and her there. This guy was so arrogant in life that in the will he also tells her to disconnect the phone line from the house because he no longer has any need for it. So he is a pure prick in life. So she turns up at this appointment, and this guy was a genius in life. He's one of these people, incredibly intelligent, high up in all university circles and whatnot. And this doctor that she's talking to had come up with this way of keeping the human brain alive after death. And it sets it up in a way that it's getting into pretty dark places come up towards these aren't long episodes. So for me watching it, I was kind of thinking, the doctor has successfully taken the brain out of this guy. At the beginning of the episode, you actually see the moment where he dies, and he's brought out from the theatre where he dies, and it's set up like she has to sign these forms for giving away his organs after death. But what they're doing is they are taking the brain out of his head. Like, they pretty much fake his time of death so that they can do that. She thinks he's dead, but he's not dead at this point. But they wait to the last possible second, kind of call the death, take him into an hour theatre, get the brain out of his head. And this is revealed to her coming up towards the end of the episode. And me watching it, thinking to myself, alright, if this guy was such an arrogant prick as he was in real life, he's maybe going to try and have a stipulation in this whole setup where she's going to get pulled in and they're going to do a transplant so he can live on in her body, sort of a thing. But then the twist comes at the end of the episode. Like, it's explained, everything's explained to her. Like, he's in the other room, he's still alive, the brain is him, essentially, and he is basically inside this basin of like fluid to keep the brain fresh and whatnot. The only thing attached to it is one of his eyes that kept a optic nerve and his eye alive as well. So when she walks into the other room to see this whole thing, it's just a silver box, essentially. You'll see it in the thumbnail for this video, I'm sure. And just this little dome on top of it with an eye inside it. So like the guy says, this all he can see is the roof at this point, so you have to look over the top of this box for him to see you. And anytime anybody interacts in the line of his sight, the machines start to make all these different noises where he's reacting. The machine's like beep 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 beep, all these beeps and whatnot. And so she is the twist at the end of this episode, and she's like, "We know what, now that all this is done, I'm ready to take my husband home with me." The doctor's shocked. He's like, "This is an experiment, you can't take him home," sort of thing. And she starts pulling the law in front of him. You can't keep a wife away from her husband and whatnot. I want him to come home with me and whatnot. So she demands her right to get her husband back. So at the end of the episode, there's this hilarious moment where she has everything in her sitting room, and literally this guy, as long as this machine is keeping him alive, his brain's in this box, his eyeballs on top of it, she has this little thing set up where there's a mirror above the box and she can move it about, so she can bounce the image from any point of the room into the box for him to see what's going on. So she, at the end of the episode, has a television on, making him watch it, and she's smoking cigarettes, she's drinking alcohol, she's wasted and whatnot, and the machines are going crazy. So she's just going to spend as much time as she can driving this man, what's left of him, this brain. She's going to drive it insane, doing all the things that he didn't let her do in life as her husband. So great, funny, dark little episode. Absolutely love this one. It's little gems like this that are fantastic. Elaine Stritch, I want to say her name is Stritch. I don't know if I can pronounce that second name properly, but she plays Mary. But she is absolutely fantastic in her role in this episode. Fantastic. That's the episodes I guess here that are going to keep me coming back to this series more and more. Couldn't recommend it higher. Right, that's going to do it until the next episode. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you all then.